All right, everybody, and welcome back to the Still Talking podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Smith. I'm getting ready to record my first stand-up set for you guys. Over the last, I'd say, 4 to 5 months, I've just been kind of collecting material and getting ready to do shows and, just kind of coming up with content. And I put a set together, and I hope you guys like it, man. Same as always. If you guys have any suggestions, any questions, or anything like that, you can reach out to me on any kind of social media, and I'll get back to you as promptly as I can. Like I said, this is not really tailor-made for anything. This is just me going through my material list and kind of throwing together some stuff that I thought was kind of funny. But sit back. I hope you guys enjoy. All right, you guys. My name is Nathan. I'm 24. Just recently actually noticed that I'm not the easiest to deal with. So I guess my first clue would be when my family stopped calling me when important things would happen. My sister actually tried to stand up and go down a slide recently, and she actually ended up falling pretty epically, and she broke her ass. And I know that my parents didn't call me. I know for a fact that it's because I am so goddamn funny. But seriously though, my heart got to deal with. Like, I'm always down to go out and drink, but I can't really drink except for like the first hour. So after that, it's kind of like a roller coaster. I become your typical white girl. I get emotional, start losing stuff, start crying. One night I actually got so drunk that I broke through to a whole new level. And I actually ended up at the park by my friend's house in my boxers shooting hoops. And I guess the whole point of this story is that I now have to register as a sex offender. So if there's any children in the area, if you guys will promptly shout them out so I can get the fuck up out of here before my PO shows up. Safe to say, all in all, it was a terrible decision. Life is full of decisions, man. You gotta watch out. I'll tell you guys about this time that I was 18. I actually met this girl at a party, and she seemed pretty cool, but I noticed right off the bat she really liked to party. I mean, she was in there like chugging beers and doing lines like Lindsay fucking Lohan. This broad was pretty crazy. I won't lie. She's probably the craziest bimbo I ever met. She was a lot like Charlie Sheen pre-HIV. Not joking. Off top, you can tell how classy this broad is. So look, we're gonna fast forward to the end of the night, and we're gonna roll right past the part where she pissed into somebody's bathtub with the door open. Which, just for anybody that's listening, that should have been the point in time where I deboarded this train. But as you guys probably know, cocaine is one hell of a drug. So anyway, end of the night, we are hammered drunk. And we get someone to drop us off at her place because she's like, hey, my roommate's going. I was like, well, bet, let's go. All right, so we get to her house. I mean, we're trash drunk. So we get up the stairs and we get in her apartment. And I help her to the couch, I mean, I'm a gentleman, I'm a nice guy. So we sit her on the couch, and I go to close the door, and by the time I turn back around, she's passed out cold on this couch, and she's not getting up. Now, I didn't go to college, but I know that I have a million options here. But as most of you probably know, Big Nate likes to keep it classy, so, I just kept it simple, helped her to her bedroom, laid her down, let her know, hey, nice to meet you. I did not leave my phone number, which was a phenomenal decision. And, I just closed the door, and then I robbed her. But I'm super glad you guys responded well to that joke. That was almost a rape joke. So now I'm not feel very bad about these next 3 rape jokes. So, sticking with our current theme of crazy-ass women, I'm going to tell you guys about the time that I was legally robbed. Alright, so as the story goes, I was 19 years old. I had just moved in with my girlfriend. She's Hispanic, if that gives you any of an indication of how the story is going to turn out. It was a pretty toxic relationship, man. It was never good, First thing I realized is that I made a dumbass decision. It was my genius idea when we moved in to say, hey, why don't we buy rooms? You buy the bedroom, I'll buy the living room, I'll buy the bathroom, you buy the kitchen, kind of deal. That's a terrible idea for anybody listening, any of you young guns out there that think that sounds like a phenomenal idea? It is not. Because let me tell you what happened. We ended up splitting up after said toxic relationship comes to end. And she took everything, my guy. I'm talking about everything. She took the whole bedroom. And it was empty, top to bottom. The only thing in it were my clothes in a pile on the floor. My pile of clothes, which she had poured sugar all over, and then doused in a 6-pack of beer, to then, thus forth, ruin my clothes. The beer was actually Miller High Life. Ironically enough. Anyway, so she moves out, gets all her stuff, tells the landlord, game over, right? No, not the case. So eventually, I start talking to somebody else who I'm now engaged to, actually. But she finds out, pulls up to my apartment, and proceeds to rob me. Now, I get a call from my neighbor, and she's like, hey, old girl's over here loading up your shit. So clearly, I call the landlord, and he's like, hey, I'm calling the cops. I'm on the way there right now. And I'm at work. So about 5 minutes later, I get a call back, and he's like, hey, the cops want to talk to you. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm on papers, man. That's never good when they want to talk to me. So I'm like, all right. I'm thinking she planted drugs in the house or something. Anyway, just a shout out. That was the only time in my life that I could have ever passed a drug test, was that moment in time. Anyway, so the police proceed to talk to me and tell me that she's not acting crazy or breaking anything. All she's doing is loading stuff into the vehicle. And then there was a 10-minute, span where I sat trying to explain to the police that that was my shit that she was loading up into the back of the car. But that seemed to not matter since she was on the lease. Legally, she still lived there. And since she's still on the lease, they couldn't stop her from taking any of this stuff. Now, when I called the next day, if that wasn't the bitch of it, when I called the next day to get some more information, because I was like, clearly she can't legally rob me, but that's the case. So I called up there, trying to get it all figured out, and the cops reading the report back to me, and it says that they spent excess time talking to defendant and helping them. Or I'm sorry, talking to suspect. And I was like, what do you mean they spent excess time talking and helping? But it comes to turn out that not only did she legally rob me, she got the Hot Springs Police Department to help her load my flat screen. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Like I said, if you guys have any questions or comments, just reach out to me. And I appreciate you guys.